Once again, we're back on Lutherans Alive with Pastor John Smaligo of Harold Zion Lutheran Church in Greensburg, Westmoreland County. John, again, thanks for coming in
Thank you.
and sharing some interesting experiences from your trip to Africa. One of the things that we wanted to spend a little more time talking about is the level of education from the children and those who are beginning life and hopeful that things might be improved, but also for those who are the, quote, educated, the pastors, the educators, the teachers. You were describing for me a bit the level of education and the resources that are available for the teachers.
Right. The teachers are able to go to the Lutheran Teachers College, first of all. When they go there, they have ways of learning to relate to children and different items. But the amazing thing to me was in the library at the college, which is the resource for those who are going there, is that they still use as their resource the curriculum which our Sunday school used back in the 1960s for elementary age children.
So pretty much everything is hand-me-downs.
It's hand-me-downs, and it's things that are 40, 50 years old, and it's elementary level for us. For them, that was college level information for them.
Okay.
Also, when I found an encyclopedia there, it stopped at 1968. So in teaching, they did not have information on about 35 to 40 years worth of history. The other component is there's a Lutheran, the Bible College. Oftentimes, because of the distance pastors go there for training, they will sometimes live there for 18 months because they can't go back home because they have to walk for days to get there.
Right.
And when you are a pastor, the pastor usually gets about $50 a month. In our case, the pastor was getting $50 a month and had 4 children. One of them he was sending to Manow Secondary School, hopefully that his son would get a better education so that he could have a better quality of life.
And you were saying that oftentimes the teachers, if they were going to send their children to school, would have to sacrifice their income in order to be able to make it possible for their children to go.
Well, exactly. Or yes, for any child to come in, oftentimes a scholarship had to be established. But in order for them to receive that scholarship, that oftentimes meant the faculty would not get paid. So oftentimes they do rely on churches such as the one where I came from, where we did pay for 11 children to go for a year of college or a year of secondary school. That helped relieve money so that the staff could receive an income.
So that partnership really, really does help at the most basic level.
Oh, it absolutely does. It helps also provide medication. We took over suitcases of medication to the Lutheran hospitals. So the Lutheran Church over there is trying desperately, as fast growing as it is also trying to help maintain a quality of life for their people and for the area surrounding the diocese.
And that's the goal of the Companion Synod program, that it will establish those kinds of relationships that folks who live in a more affluent society and world as we do can really get to know those individual needs and circumstances, make the connection, and be able to help in ways that folks there would have no hope if they had to rely on their own resources.
Absolutely, but I also think that it enriches our life as well and helps show the oneness in Christ with brothers and sisters at the complete opposite end of the earth.
Most definitely. In terms of bringing back this information and these experiences and sharing them with local congregations, how does it affect Lutheran Christians in the United States as they begin to appreciate the difficulties of life in such places?
The places where I have presented my trip, oftentimes the people are just amazed with the extreme poverty. We were on 2 paved roads the whole time I was there. So, just that whole concept of poverty was meaningful to the people to see ways that they could help. Sense of sadness for a lot of people who view that and try to see ways that we can respond to the needs.
You were talking also, John, about hospitality and welcoming and opening their hearts in love. You were sharing with me before the program as we were getting ready today for some personal involvement, some personal experience that you got involved in while you were there. Can you tell us about that?
With the children?
Yes.
The person who was in charge of the relationships, his wife had a baby. When we arrived in Dar es Salaam, that was the day his wife had a baby.
Oh,
And whenever we went up to Tukuyu, the 10 hours in, he was there and he said, my wife just had a baby back in Dar es Salaam. And I asked him, when was he going to go see the baby? And he said, well, when I take you back to the airport. And I said, what's the baby's name? He said, well, we'll name the baby later, and especially when I see the baby.
mm.
And 3 weeks into the trip, he came up to me and said, we've named the baby, and had not gone back yet. And I said, what's the baby's name? He said, we named the baby John after you.
Wow.
And then a year later, they had another baby, and they named the baby Mark, which is my middle name as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that experience and connection that you had while you were there would become a living legacy for those young children going forward.
Absolutely. We're trying to, and my wife and I have established account in order to help send those children to secondary school. Also, through the wonderful world of email, I'm still able to be in touch with, Flaston is his name. I'm still able to be in touch with Flaston over there, and we continue to communicate on a monthly basis.
That's terrific. I think that really is one of the significant goals of the Companion Synod, is that these relationships will become a reality, will not be just a flash in the pan, so to speak, but will be long-lasting relationships that can make a difference in terms of how we see the Christian church around the world, and in the Lutheran church in particular. John, we really appreciate you taking the time to share some of your personal experiences on this trip, and to be able to open the eyes and the understanding of some of our viewers as they hear the story, and maybe we'll motivate them to get involved in some ways that they wouldn't otherwise do so. Thanks so much for taking the time to come in today and being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us today on Lutherans Alive. We hope you've enjoyed this opportunity to hear about one pastor's trip to a third world country and the new relationships and hope that people find when such things take place. Until next time, this is Lutherans Alive. Good day, and God bless you.